So welcome to the first video of our command line section. In this video, you are seeing on your screen is the workflow that we are going to work with. So we are dealing with the transcriptomic data and we are doing the gene expression analysis. So we are first going to get our raw reads. So our first process lies here, which is the raw reads. Let me just turn on the pointer. Sorry, pointer, laser pointer. Yeah. So we are dealing with the raw reads, how we can retrieve the raw reads. So you know that SRA database is a database which contain all the RNA-Seq and transcriptomics data. So we are using the SRA toolkit because we are working on the command line. The SRA toolkit from the NCBI is the collection of tools and libraries for using the data in the NIN-SDC sequence read archive. So we can retrieve all the SRA database all over the internet by using the SRA toolkits. So these are the list of commands and the number of pipes that we are going to use. So it contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commands that I have written. So don't worry about the commands. We are going to also use these commands and I'm also gonna give you all the list of commands that you're going to use in one of your file. So moving on to our first part of this practical, let me just close this window and I'm gonna make a new folder in our desktop. So if you're seeing my desktop, I think yep, the recording is on. You're seeing my desktop. So here it is, the SRA, and I have created a folder here. So I'm opening my terminal here, opening terminal. So here is a terminal. Here you are seeing the folder and just data analysis practical. So let me just list out the number of items that we have a SRA toolkit that we are going to download. So let me just copy all this and paste it to our text file. Yep. So these are the number of commands that we are going to use in this lecture. So I'm gonna wget SRA toolkit, which I already have done for you guys. Now moving on to the extraction of file. So moving on here, I'm just gonna close this window, close this, and let me just paste the SRA tar.vxzf is the command that we are going to extract the SRA toolkit software files. So I'm just gonna type SRA and press tab and automatically gonna do so. So now you're seeing is we are extracting the SRA files. So let me just list out. Yep, I am directly created with the SRA. I'm gonna open it and gonna see. Yep, there are a lot of files that are created here. So let's just open this folder, and here our folder is created. You are seeing a lot of softwares here as well. So these are all the files that we have created. So moving on to the second command, we are going to append the path of our binaries into our path, into our bin, which contain the softwares. So for example, if you want me to just type all the command by hand, I think that is not reducible. I have already written all the commands. I have made all the pipelines for you guys as well. So there is no need to worry. We're just gonna demonstrate you that command, and then we're going to use that command in my terminal. So you can do that easily. So we have already in the SRA toolkit folder. So we are going to append the binaries. So after appending the binaries, the command has successfully ran. That way it's showing the tick circle. After that, we are going to see that if our FASTQ dump is a software which is used to retrieve the number of reads from the SRA database, it works or are not working. So let's just which FASTQ dump. So it is not working. So there is a problem. I'm gonna move to back folder and then I'm gonna append the path again. So if it do so, I'm gonna move to the SRA ng SRA folder again, and I'm gonna list the command, and then I'm gonna see if my FASTQ dump runs. Yep, it's running right now. So here it is seeing that in the bin folder, I have the FASTQ dump software. So this should produce a result similar to this, and it has produced our result. We are going to configure the files. So moving to the back folder, I'm gonna configure the files. So here it is. Configuring the files gives us this type of window that we see. It is the GUI of our SRA toolkit. So we are going to use this GUI to make some changes. I'm gonna move to the T, which I'm going to use the current repository, and after that I'm clicking on X, typing X. I have exited that. So that is done here. So now that we got our SRA toolkit configured. Now let's just download by using the FASTQ dump software. We can also download the SRA data. So let me just show you where FASTQ dump is. CD bin, and here we can ls all the. Here you can see there is a lot of software that are being here. That the software that we are using is called FASTQ dump. It's a FASTQ dump system that we are going to use for getting our data. So moving to the back folder, I think our std out should be now ran. Let's just copy, and there should be a file name file.fastqc. Yep, I'm gonna cat that file.fastqc. I have trimmed that fastqc, trimmed that FASTA file as well, because I needed a data that should be very uh, small, that we can analyze you in this practical. So while using the large file, which is around 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabyte of file, we need a lot of processing memory and a lot of stuff. So clearly we don't have that time to just analyze all that files. So we got the file. So that was it for our first lecture. Repeating it, we downloaded the SRA toolkit, and then we extracted the files. After that, we append that files to our binaries pathway. Then we check that our softwares are running. So FASTQ dump, the software that we use, yes, that software was running, which produced the output like this, where it shows that here the FASTQ dump is laying down. So configuring the files, we configure the SRA toolkit according to our own needs. And after that, we test if the toolkit is functional. So yes, our toolkit was functional. That's why we got our file. So that was it for the first lecture. In the second lecture, we will moving on to the quality control. But first, we are going to see what FastQC file is in the next lecture. So thank you so much for being here. So that was it for our first lecture. We got the raw reads successfully. In the next lecture, we will be moving on to the quality training.